All right, let's take you back to our special focus this Friday as the deadline for Spaza shops around the country to be registered looms ever so closer. 5 o'clock is the time, with many business owners now scrambling, of course, to make sure that they comply. Let's take you to Soweto now. That's where we find SABC News reporter Puseletso Mokoena, who's been speaking to a number of shop owners who are lining part of those queues. And Puseletso, many of them crying foul, suggesting that they didn't know about this deadline, which is a bit of a surprise given the extension that was given after the initial 21 days.
Oh, well, of course, and we are coming to you live from the Zabulani Civic Center here in Soweto. We are still monitoring the situation here, whereby, as you have rightfully mentioned, that Spaza shop owners are given only up until 5 o'clock today to ensure that they have registered their Spaza shop, to ensure that they are in alignment with the health and safety regulations. Well, but a lot of people are still coming in, and a lot of people are coming out. With me right now, I have the two ladies who went inside and they have been returned. Ladies, can you talk about your experience inside? What happened?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sifika exeni before 8 and now it's to 12. Yeah. Sahlala basambisa like stulo to stulo. Then at the end of the day basinikeza ama-form. Ama-form akhona anama-requirements angeke siwathole, and bathi bafuna today. I'm telling you, 12 bafuna before vela bantu 4. Yeah, so si worried kakhulu nge-country yethu nokuthi lento enzakalayo khona manje bathi bafuna after konke lawo ma-forms whatever siyenzile bafuna imali, sifuna sikhiphe imali. So ikhipha ngani imali ye-health and safety? They didn't tell us about it. Iyafuneka today. Imali ziningi nje imali government wethu yasifela serious. Angeke size sishuthi ke into yokuthi sizenzele thina njengoba bekahlala athi vuka uzenzele ayihambi kanjalo. Asiyenzi vuka uzenzele la. Ulento ugovernment wethu usilahlile. Thina singama South Africans silahliwe ugovernment wethu. Ayikho enye into wazi kahle ukuthi abantu i-rate ye-unemployment ingakanani. This is a way yokuthi sikwazi ukuthi siphile nathi.
Austembi, thank you so much for your time. I want to move on to Ausnomachana. Ausnomachana, you're holding a paper here that you've got inside. What is it saying to you?
All right. This document that I'm holding here, actually, we were not allowed to go in. So they just sent someone to attend to us. The guy gave us this document, and it has the requirements. These requirements, I don't think we'll be able to complete everything that's required here, because they want your approved plan for your shop, health and safety. It wants an amount of 1.6. The hawker's license, actually, basically, you must have something like 2,000 for this. And that amount you must bring it today, which is totally unfair. So the treatment that's been given to us, it's not right. Tax clearance certificates, this and that. So this was never communicated to us. And the money was never communicated as well. So I doubt if we'll be able to complete everything that's required today. So our government, it's definitely failing us. And remember, if they want this today, where are we going to get this amount of money that they want today?
Ausnomachana, but we hear that the government made it clear that they are not giving another extension. What do you think this says about your business?
All right, my business, that means it has to run with or without. Because if this is their last day, I need to run my business, then I will run my business. If the foreigners can run their businesses without documentation, that means I can run my business without documentation as well. And they are given special attention to attend to their shops and so forth. So we must run our businesses as well as South Africans.
Austembi, are you maybe asking for extension from the government?
I mina ngisayifuna extension yabo mabasiyekele sochuba njengoba besichuba mangabe bayasibopha bazosibopha mara sizochuba ugovernment isakahloniphi mayefuna ukuthi imhloniphi naye makahloniphi mayiqhubeke ibe njalo.
Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Well, that was the two ladies who have been returned due to the shortage of documents, if I can put it like that. And they're also essentially telling us that they didn't even know that there's a certain amount of money that they need to pay or to prepare in order for them to be set today to register their Spaza shop freely and smoothly. We are still going to monitor the situation here at the Zablani City Center and ensure that we are giving updates throughout the course of the day. Ayanda?
Puseletso, hopefully you can still hear me, and if you still have your guests there, I wonder if you're able to ask them when they found out about today's deadline, because let's face it, there had been time before the 28th of February to try and make sure that you familiarize yourself with the requirements, including the money that you need to accumulate by this point.
Well, let me bring the question to them. Ladies, I understand that there's been time, right, given, and that we know that there's a certain amount of deadline to be met in order for you to register your Spaza shops. But was this communicated to you that there's a certain amount of money that you need to pay? There is maybe a certain documents that are needed in order for you to have a smooth registration?
No, it was never communicated. At least we would have made some plans to gather everything so that when we come here, we know that we've got this amount that we need to pay. So this was never communicated to us.
But don't you think if maybe you came here earlier than today to ensure that you familiarize yourself with everything that you need in order to have a smooth registration, today was going to be a nice, just a smooth registration for you? Don't you think so?
I was here during the week, so I was never told about the amount. Even at this present moment, they did not mention any amount that I need to pay. They just said, here's the form, you fill the form, you bring the required documents, and then we'll make sure that we submit your documents. But you must make sure that you bring everything today. And my question was, then if I won't be able to put this, because first thing, when I go to police station for an affidavit, it's not, I won't get in there and they attend to me. I'm not a special person, you understand. I need to wait on the queue. So they said we must just bring this back today.
And when Assistant B, were you here before?
This is the fourth time ngizala. The thing is, if ufika uthi bathi kushoda le uhambe uyoyilanda mawubuya sokunale uhambe uyoyifuna mawubuya sokun kushuthi ababi specific azange yabona namhlanje basinikeze into eshoyo ukuthi this is ama requirements abo, but then imali akekho umuntu onemali azange sibona manje naye lo mfana uyasaba nokuyisho ukuthi kunemali ukwabona involved, and so kusise sifailile lento le ayisekho futhi presence yavala.
Well, there you have it, Ayanda. They are essentially telling us that this was never communicated to them, even though it is not for the first time for them to make their way here. They're expressing frustrations that their Spaza shops are going to be closed, and this is the only way that they are making a living, just to afford life. But right now it's back to you in studio.
Difficult pill to swallow that, but I guess we're going to have to take their word for it. Puseletso Mokoena, live to us there from Jabulani Civic Center in Soweto. I remember very clearly when the government announced this extension. The initial date, of course, you might remember, was 21 days after the president took to the podium and made out this call. The Cooperative Governance Minister in Nkosini Hlabisa sent out a special appeal even then that South Africans or business owners should not leave this to the 11th hour. Given what you're hearing now and the cues you've seen, I wonder whether or not you reckon that has landed at all. Nonetheless, we'll continue to watch the story very closely. In case you're wondering, here's a breakdown, really broadly speaking, of the requirements for business owners to comply with this process. It varies according to different municipalities, but in the main, of course, you need to physically show up at your local municipal offices. There's a form that you've heard being spoken about there that you need to fill. Of course, there needs to be a way to identify you, your proof of address, your business details, and registration details, and then you need to submit a sworn affidavit affidavit confirming your compliance. So, of course, it's difficult to get this right in one day, and that's why I suppose many of those who've only taken the steps to try to get registered today are crying foul. But it's important to always give context around how we got here. It initially started with around 441 food contamination incidents. Sadly, some of those landed up with fatalities. Always important to keep that in mind as we watch today's developments.